Ever catch your dog staring out the window like they're waiting for a pizza delivery? That never arrives. Turns out, they might not be craving pepperoni, they might be craving company. That's right, folks. Today we're diving deep into the canine psyche to decode those sneaky signs your dog might be feeling lonely, because nobody wants a sad pup. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be fluent in doggo distress signals. Alright, first up, let's talk about those vocal cords. When your usually chill pup turns into a furry opera singer the second you leave the room, that's not them practicing for America's Got Talent, that's loneliness calling. In the wild, dogs howl to locate their pack. So when they're home alone, all that noise is basically them sending out a canine SOS. Where did everybody go? It's their way of saying, I miss you, in the loudest way possible. Now before you go full-on dog whisperer trying to decipher their every bark, there are some easy fixes. Interactive toys, puzzle feeders, basically anything that keeps their brain and body busy can work wonders. Next up, we've got a classic sign of loneliness, and maybe a hint of passive aggression, let's be honest. Destructive behavior. We're talking chewed-up shoes that now resemble modern art, pillows looking like they lost a fight with a confetti cannon. You get the picture. Destructive behavior is often a dog's way of coping with stress and anxiety. It's not mischief, it's their way of saying, I'm stressed and I need you. They don't understand why you leave, just that it stresses them out. So, channel your inner Sherlock Bones and figure out what's triggering your dog's inner interior designer. Separation anxiety is a big one, so gradual training to help them feel comfy solo is key. Picture this. You're all settled in for a movie marathon, popcorn's popped, comfy pants on, and suddenly your dog decides it's time for their daily marathon around the living room. Dogs are creatures of habit and routine, so when their usual hangout buddy, that's you, is MIA, they get restless. That living room Zoomy session, it's their way of shouting, I've got energy, and no one to share it with. The solution? Tire them out. A good walk, a rousing game of fetch anything to burn off that anxious energy, and remind them that the world doesn't end when you leave the room. Even if it sometimes feels like it does, I get it. Okay, let's talk about something near and dear to every dog's heart and stomach, food. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dogs are furry garbage disposals. They're always down to eat, right? Well, not always. Just like us, when dogs are feeling down in the dumps, their appetite can take a nosedive. If your pup's ignoring their favorite treats, it's not just picky eating. It's their silent way of saying, I miss having you around. Loneliness can seriously dampen their mood and their stomach. Dogs thrive on companionship, and mealtime is no exception. So if you notice your furry friends skipping meals, it's time to show them some extra love, and maybe tempt them with some extra special snacks. Now this sign can be a bit tricky to decipher because, let's be honest, dogs love a good nap. But there's a difference between a well-deserved snooze after a long walk and excessive sleeping that seems out of character. If your usually energetic pup is suddenly logging more hours than you on a Sunday morning, it might be a sign they're trying to sleep away their loneliness blues. It's their way of escaping boredom and loneliness. So while the occasional nap marathon is nothing to worry about, if you notice a drastic change in your dog's sleep patterns, it's worth investigating further. Enjoying the video? Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Okay, we've all had those days where we just want to be left alone, right? But imagine if every time you turned around, there was your dog, just staring at you. Now, some dogs are just naturally clingy. We're looking at you, Velcro dog breeds. But if your usually independent pup suddenly turns into your shadow, it might be a sign they're craving some serious social interaction. That intense stare? It's their version of saying, I'm lonely, and you're my whole world. It's like they're saying, hey, remember me? Your best friend who loves you unconditionally and just wants to hang out? Yeah, that's me. Let's go do something. Alright, this next one is a bit more serious, so listen up. Just like humans, dogs can experience depression, and it's not something to be taken lightly. I'm talking about a persistent change in their demeanor, a loss of interest in things they used to enjoy, lethargy, even seeming withdrawn or sad. They might also start sleeping more than usual or isolating themselves in unusual spots like hiding under furniture or retreating to corners. It's like the light in their eyes has dimmed, and they're silently hoping you'll notice. If you notice these signs in your furry friend, it's crucial to consult with your veterinarian to rule out any underlying medical conditions and discuss potential treatment options. Mental health is just as important for our furry friends as it is for us. So let's break the stigma and make sure they get the help they need. Okay, this one might seem a bit counterintuitive, but trust me on this. While we usually associate grooming with good hygiene and looking fly, let's be real, excessive grooming or licking can actually be a sign of stress and anxiety in dogs. It's like their way of giving themselves a hug when you're not around. If they're focusing on one spot, like constantly licking their paws, it could be a big red flag. Loneliness can trigger this behavior, as dogs try to comfort themselves in the absence of their favorite humans. Over time, this can even lead to skin irritation or bald spots, so it's definitely not something to ignore. So, if you notice your pup licking or chewing at themselves more than usual, it's worth taking a closer look at their environment and routine to see if anything's causing them stress or anxiety. Alright, this sign is about as subtle as a brick to the face. If your dog's constantly plotting their escape, chances are they're not just trying out for Mission Impossible. They're on a quest to find the companionship they're missing at home. Dogs are social creatures by nature, and being cooped up alone all day goes against their very instincts. So, when the loneliness becomes too much to bear, they might take matters into their own paws and try to find some company, even if it means channeling their inner Houdini and becoming escape artists. Providing your dog with plenty of mental and physical stimulation throughout the day can go a long way in curbing their desire to break free. And last but not least, we have a sign that's important to address with caution: increased aggression or irritability. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, it's crucial to remember that aggression is a complex issue with various underlying causes, from health problems to environmental stressors. However, loneliness can play a role, as dogs who are deprived of social interaction might become more easily frustrated or agitated. You might notice them growling over things they used to tolerate, like being touched, sharing toys, or even during mealtime. If you notice a sudden change in your dog's behavior, it's essential to consult with a certified dog trainer or behaviorist to address the issue safely and effectively. Did you notice any of these 10 signs in your dog? Drop a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your experiences. And there you have it, folks. 10 signs your dog might be feeling lonelier than a sock without its mate. But don't worry, there's hope. Remember that bonus tip I promised? Here it is. Set up a doggy play date once a week. Regular interaction with other dogs can significantly reduce feelings of loneliness and give your pup a much-needed social outlet. It's like happy hour for dogs, but with less barking and more butt sniffing. Now I'm curious, what's one quirky habit your dog has when they're feeling lonely? Share in the comments below, because misery loves company, and I'm invested in all of your weird dog stories. And if you found these insights helpful, you'll love my next video, 11 surprising signs your dog sees you as their parent. Click here to watch it now. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips to keep your furry friend happy, healthy, and as far away from the doggy blues as possible.